I'm Sarah Pagani with KENS 5 News Now. A rescue downtown overnight where a man and a woman had to be cut out of their car. Police say around 10 last night, two cars crashed into each other at the intersection of West Cesar Chavez and Pecos La Trinidad. The duo's car flipped over and they were trapped inside. Firefighters had to use the jaws of life and crews went through the roof to pull them out. They were taken to the hospital. Police say amazingly, they only suffered minor injuries. And a huge explosion south of San Antonio destroys a home and a family narrowly escapes it. You can actually see in this video plumes of smoke billow into the air. The home in Floresville. City leaders say that a fiber optic company hit a gas main, causing that explosion. Several homes were damaged, one was destroyed, and it was the homeowners' quick actions that saved lives. The Floresville city manager says she smelled gas and reported it, resulting in evacuations. A neighbor told us the company had been working in that neighborhood for a while.
Watching them work, the men work over there, and all of a sudden, the big explosion. I mean, it was a big explosion.
It was an accident. Fortunately, like I said, our public safety officials took the precautions needed to prevent the loss of life.
Now, the Floresville city manager says they will be reviewing this incident at City Hall once the fire marshal finishes up their investigation. Two 14-year-olds shot to death within just weeks apart and both steps away from their homes. Police do not believe the cases are connected, but we're now hearing from neighbors on this latest shooting.
All of a sudden, I heard, it was probably like 5 big shots that it just echoed throughout the whole house. And then we heard 2 more really quick.
This resident here describing the gunfire late Monday night on South Mint Street near Goliath. First responders found 14-year-old Timothy Chavez dead. He was shot multiple times. We've learned Timothy would have been celebrating his 15th birthday today. Police say they still do not have any suspects in the case.
And I could just hear, his sister screaming, and it's just, I could still hear that. It's just traumatizing.
Family told police they saw a car speeding off after the shooting. New details on the man accused of shooting his uncle on a Via bus. We first told you about that shooting yesterday. Now police have identified the suspect as 26-year-old Furman Heredia. Officials say he shot the 41-year-old man in the stomach, then ran from the bus stop on Culebra and General McMullen. At last check, that victim, his uncle, was listed in critical condition. The suspect is a convicted felon and was booked on 2 charges. DNA evidence leads to an arrest in the case of a 15-year-old who was abducted and sexually assaulted decades ago. 55-year-old Arthur Quiroga was booked into the Bexar County Jail this Tuesday. DNA was recovered in 1998, but it was only 3 weeks ago police finally got a match. They say Quiroga abducted the teenage girl from the south side and assaulted her. He was on probation for an unrelated crime when he was arrested this week. An update to an hours-long police standoff on Tuesday where a man allegedly shot a woman, then barricaded himself. We've learned that man is now facing multiple charges. Investigators say it all started when he shot his significant other in the head. Officers and the SWAT team surrounded the home on Taft Boulevard on the southwest side early Tuesday. They spent most of the day trying to get 35-year-old Carlos Herrera to surrender, and when he did not come out on his own, the SWAT team fired off tear gas and made their way inside. Officers say they found Herrera hiding in an attic crawl space. As for the victim, she was taken to the hospital in critical condition. You're looking at a fiery plane crash in Castroville. We first showed you back in April, but now the pilot who was rescued from that wreckage is finally able to thank first responders for saving his life. So this is a picture here of Medina County ESD1. They posted this on social media of the pilot with crew members. They say a mechanical failure within the plane led to the crash, which ruptured the plane's fuel tank. That fire led to critical burns over almost 30% of the pilot's body. He told them after 68 days in the burn facility, one of his first priorities was to schedule a meeting to thank the crews. A warning from San Antonio police about Porch pirates as a ton of packages are about to be dropped off at homes from Amazon. Today is Amazon's final Prime Day summer sale with massive cuts to prices on big items like electronics and home goods. And as millions of shoppers put in their orders, SAPD posted to Facebook the different ways you can prevent your stuff from being stolen. For example, they said make plans to be home when your product arrives or use an Amazon locker for your delivery. Also, requesting a signature can help. So any of these alternatives can keep your items from being alone on your porch. UTSA's inaugural Mariachi summer camp is now officially underway. About 28 high school students from across Texas are working to sharpen their skills. It is the first time the school has put on something like this for mariachi music. They practice for more than 4 hours a day.
People that have been playing for years. We have people that don't have mariachi in their schools, so they're coming to these camps to learn the mariachi genre.
It's a way to connect to my culture. I love mariachi and practice every day.
Now tomorrow they will have a recital that is open to everyone at the UTSA's Arts Building Recital Hall. That's KENS 5 News Now. I'm Sarah Forgani.